About 2 years ago, I was sitting right here when I created a video and asked you, created an opportunity for you to get involved in what God was doing through Ignite Life. And that ask came in the form of, will you please help us sponsor women who have been rescued from the sex trafficking industry to help them learn how to share their story and really make sense of their story. And so you all responded in such a huge positive way. The response was overwhelming. All of those women were able to go through our Discover Your Story class, which was a one-day workshop where they got to really discover what their story is, followed up by a 4-week class where women get more small group coaching and really dig into what it looks like to stand on a platform and share the story that God has written throughout their life. When you said yes to that, I don't think I knew what we were saying yes to, because God is so faithful and He had something bigger planned than we could ever imagine. So whether you just added on a few dollars to your own ticket purchase to come to one of our events, or if you actually sponsored a woman at full price to come through one of our conferences or this specific speaker's workshop, you were saying yes to something far bigger than you even realize. And I want to share some of that with you. Specifically through that one-day workshop, the 4-week follow-up workshop, you sponsored a girl named Jules. Jules is an incredible woman. As she went through that 4-week class, we learned so much about her. She's filled with joy and hope, and her life has been radically transformed by the power of the gospel. And so we watched that transformation happen as she found herself in a community through a local ministry called Refuge for Women. And as we partnered with them, we watched Jules just come to life as she began to share the hope she had found in Jesus. And so every year in January, just 1 year ago, we selected Jules to stand on a platform that we created called She Speaks Truth. And She Speaks Truth is a half-day conference where 150 women from all over the Vegas Valley gather together to hear the story of local women and how their lives have been transformed through the gospel. And so we were like, Jules would be perfect for this. She stood up and she gave just a very real, honest account of what her life has looked like from childhood, being trafficked as a child through adulthood, and how these things have impacted her life. But more importantly, she shed light on the fact that until she met Jesus, she had never known life before. It was an incredible moment. All of us cheered, all of us cried, and we loved that God created this platform for women. And we were thankful that you said yes to that, but that wasn't the end of the platform for Jules. What none of us knew was that just 7 months later, Jules' life would be tragically taken. And in the midst of heartache and brokenness, this faithfulness of God continued to shine as her video of her sharing her story was uploaded onto YouTube. In one of the most heart-aching moments and grieving times, we watched this YouTube video be seen by over 10,000 people across the country, around the world, who have been inspired and encouraged through Jules' story. Though her life was taken, her testimony and her legacy remained because you invested in her life, and she had the opportunity to stand on a platform and share how Jesus had radically transformed her life. Like I said, you and I had no idea what our yes was going to lead to. And we have stories of life transformation over and over that I don't know that you and I fully grasp what God's doing through our $2 at the end of a ticket purchase. Like, yeah, throw that in there, right? Or our yes to sponsor a woman. We might never hear the stories. But just this year, in 2019, your yes, I'll sponsor someone, led to 20 women at Refresher Women giving their lives to Jesus. It led to 21 girls raising their hand and saying, yeah, coming forward, getting prayer and saying, yeah, I want to live for Jesus. I want Him to be my Lord and Savior. We had 23 girls sponsored to attend our Refresher Girls event. We had 38 women, between moms and women, get sponsored to attend a conference. So what looks like a conference sponsorship to you, it's not. It is radical life transformation. And we get the privilege of introducing people to a biblical community, as well as many women, for the first time, they're coming to know Jesus. And so this is the time of year when every nonprofit you know is saying, hey, give to us. And I'm one of them because I've sat on the front lines and I've watched life transformation happen day after day after day. I've watched women who are hopeless become hopeful because they have found a faithful God, someone to put their hope and trust in. And so as we come to the end of the year and as we look to what we get to do in 2020 and the lives we get to impact, and we've already begun planning for how God is going to move in the city this year and how we get to get in on his activity in the city, I'm asking you for partnership. Would you invest in a woman's life? Would you invest in a teen girl's life and donate to Ignite Life so that we can continue to further stretch this mission to equip, empower, and mobilize women for the sake of Christ?